Hello guys! This time I'll show you how to make deliciously spicy and crunchy kkakdugi, cubed radish kimchi. It's one of the most common kimchi types in Korean homes and it's easy to make. Finding the ingredients may be the hardest thing for some of you. Don't worry, we'll talk about some of the alternatives as we go along. Let's get started. Korean radish is a white radish that's firm, juicy, slightly sweet and peppery. It tastes best in late fall and winter. Winter radishes are available through spring. Buy the ones with a nice and clean skin, and the green part is sweeter, so get the ones with more green. If available, daikon or similar white radish is a good alternative. Korean radish is round and fat. Daikon is long and slender. They actually taste different too. And the texture of daikon is a little softer. This recipe is for about 5.5 pounds radishes. That's 2.5 kilograms. Let's clean these. Do not peel the skin because skin is full of nutrition and has extra crunch. Cut the stem part off because that can be tough. First is cut into 3/4 to 1 inch discs. That's really nice and juicy. Try a little piece. This will give you an idea how sweet, spicy, or sometimes bitter the radishes that you are working with. So you can adjust the seasonings better. Let me try it. This is sweet and not that spicy, which is good. Okay, now we're gonna cut each disc into the same 3/4 to 1 inch sticks. And turn it around, 90 degrees. Cut in half again, and then another half. Cutting food into cubes like this is called kkakdugi in Korean. That's where the name kkakdugi came from. Okay, all done cutting. These cubes look big right now, but they will shrink during the salting and fermentation processes. Oh, by the way, this mixing bowl right here is 30 cup capacity. That is 7.5 liter. Okay, we're ready to salt this. Radishes are 90-some% water. Salting will draw out some of their water content for a crunchy texture of kimchi. Okay, let's talk about salt. Koreans use coarse sea salt for making kimchi. If it's not available to you, just use what you have. You just need to adjust the measurements depending on the grain size. This is 3 tablespoons. It's about 40 to 45 grams, 1.5 ounces. That's approximately equivalent to 2.5 tablespoons of coarse kosher salt and 2 tablespoons of Morton's canning and pickling salt, which is a very fine salt. Now we're gonna just salt this all over the radish and toss it all up to mix. It seems like a lot of salt, but you're gonna need this to draw out enough water. The moisture from the radish will dissolve the salt quickly, so we don't need any water. We'll just leave it out for about an hour. I'll come back to it and toss it just to rotate around every 20 minutes or so, once or twice during the salting. More salt or longer salting will draw out more water. 3 or 4 scallions, but these are very thin, so I'm going to use more We're gonna cut this into 3/4 to 1 inch pieces, the same as the radish size. Okay, for seasonings, I have a 1/2 cup of gochugaru, Korean red chili pepper flakes. You can use a tablespoon or 2 more if you want. Gochugaru, honestly, is a tough one to substitute. But if you have red chili pepper powder or flakes that's similar to this, try it. Okay, I have 3 tablespoons of saeujeot, salted shrimp. You can use a little less if you want a lighter kimchi. And 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. This is a Korean 멸치액젓, anchovy fish sauce. But you can use other fish sauce like Vietnamese or Thai fish sauce. If you're not using salted shrimp, use 4 tablespoons of fish sauce. Fish sauce is quite pungent, so you can use the salt for the remaining seasoning. These ingredients gives kimchi complex, savory flavors. But if neither one is an option for you, just use the salt to season your kimchi. Also, you can use 2 or 3 tablespoons of Korean soup soy sauce, 국간장. 국간장 is lighter in color than regular soy sauce, but has a deep savory flavor. And soup soy sauce is often used as a vegan substitute for fish sauce in Korea. So it's been about 20 minutes. I'm gonna flip them over. It's already released lots of water, but we'll let it sit longer. And I have 8 to 9 plump garlic cloves. That's about 3 tablespoons minced. I also have 1 inch ginger, and it's about a teaspoon grated. For a sweetener, you can use a tablespoon or 2 sugar, depending on how sweet or spicy your radish is. Also, Korean green plum syrup, myulchiaekjeot, is a popular sweetener to Korean home cooks. So use 2 or 3 tablespoons if you have it. You can also use apple or Korean or Asian pear for a fruity sweetness. That's what we're gonna do here today, just using half of an apple. This is about medium-sized apple. I'm just gonna use half. And I'll peel it. And just cut into pieces. Okay. We're also gonna use 2 tablespoons of a cooked rice. You can skip it if you don't have it. Or you can make a paste with 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour or rice flour. Now we're gonna blend this together. In goes apple and the rice, garlic and ginger, and add some water to help. This is about a 1/2 cup. Okay. You can use a saeujeot as is or chop it up on the cutting board, but I'm gonna put it here, just run it a couple more times. Okay, it's been an hour. We're going to drain the radish. Let it drain for a few minutes. There's lots of water here. We're gonna discard this. It's too salty to use because we're using other salty ingredients. If you're not using salted shrimp or fish sauce, reserve this and use some of it to season your radishes. Okay, this has drained well. Just gonna put in here. Add gochugaru. And mix it all up, rubbing them. Doing this first, before adding other seasonings, gives the radishes nice red color. Radish is hard, you can really rub hard. In goes the blended ingredients. Get the last beat. Oh, and the fish sauce. And toss well to mix everything really well. Make sure seasonings are all evenly distributed. Okay, just taste the seasoning a little bit. It should be slightly salty to eat as is because the inside of the radishes are not seasoned. The salt level between the radishes and the kimchi juice will eventually balance out and kimchi will be delicious. Okay, last thing is our scallions. This time just toss lightly to mix them in. You notice there's no liquid and kkakdugi looks dry. The radishes will release a lot of water during the fermentation and you will have delicious kimchi juice. This is good, but add some salt if necessary. As I said, the seasoning should be slightly too salty to eat as is. You can also add a tablespoon or two of sugar or 2 or 3 tablespoons of a Korean plum syrup if your radish is spicy or bitter, or you just like your kimchi sweeter. Okay, kimchi is done. This is 3.4 liter kimchi container. It's 0.9 gallon and perfect for this size batch. It's gonna lower in volume as the water content is released. So you don't have to worry about leaving too much at the top. Now we're just gonna try to get the seasoning. Pour the bowl rinsed water to the corner of the radish so you don't wash off the top seasonings. Leave kkakdugi out at room temperature for 2 to 3 days, depending on your room temperature and how soon you want to eat your kkakdugi. Right now, my room temperature is 70 Fahrenheit, 21 Celsius. Then keep it in the fridge. It will continue to ferment. So how do you know when your kkakdugi is ready to go into the fridge? In 2 or 3 days, kkakdugi would have released lots of water and your kimchi juice will bubble up a little, which is a sign of fermentation. This can happen within a day if your room temperature is very high. Okay, this is a kimchi I made a little less than 2 days ago. There's a lot more kimchi juice. It's not bubbling yet. Let me try a piece. Kimchi seasoning has mellowed a little, but kimchi tastes still raw and a bit salty. I think I'm gonna leave this out for another day. Kimchi tastes better after being in the fridge for a few days or longer. Here's the one I made a week ago. Let's see how it is. And look at all this kimchi juice. That acidic smell hits me on the face. So let me try a piece. It's delicious. The saltiness has reduced and kimchi tastes slightly acidic. It's gonna get better. When you serve, take some from the bottom, nice and juicy. Look at that. It smells amazing. Always level it out again and press it down. Did I mention kimchi bacteria doesn't like air? Kkakdugi will keep well in the fridge for a few weeks or longer, gradually getting sour and a little softer. When kkakdugi turns very sour, you can add it to kimchi jjigae, kimchi stew, or just chop them up and make some kimchi fried rice. That's it, guys. Hope you go get some radishes and make kkakdugi soon. Thanks for watching. See you next time.